Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of SCNS Live. How y'all doing this evening?
I cannot stress the extent to which I just finished getting ready. But I'm good, let's go!
Oh man, see, I had a whole essay typed up for while you were getting ready, and it was the history of Catboys, and I felt like that was going to be a really good thing for our audience to hear. And it's very valuable information.
I mean, I could always do more makeup and...
Oh yeah, okay. So,
Please stop.
Right, anyways, welcome to another episode of SCNS Live, the show where we talk about all things nerdy and fun. I don't do this show alone, though. I'm Cora, by the way. Forgot to introduce myself. That was very rude of me. But you know who's not rude? The lovely lady to my left.
There are many, many people who would disagree with that characterization. Not that many, but like, certainly say what's on my mind. Anyway, hi, Kat. This show might be a little weird. This one might be.
That's fine. That's
We're
fine.
good.
Is it?
You know what? It can be. But it's weird in a good way. And you know who else likes weird in a good way? That gentleman behind the board making us all look gorgeous and who puts together a great show every single week, Jason the X.
That was a pretty bold statement, but I'll take it. Maybe just a tiny bit inaccurate, but
No.
I'm getting better.
I am not known to lie.
So either you're really good at it or you don't.
Or you're just really good at hiding it.
She certainly helps my self-esteem. That's the main point.
That's all that matters,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm actually just here to be the hype man. That's all I'm here for.
Whoop,
That's
whoop.
Anyway.
Cass isn't here, so I gotta do the whoop, whoop. They're just random.
We'll just all take turns going whoop.
Cass isn't here because she doesn't care about us anymore.
I know,
right.
and she is dead to me. Dead to me, I say.
Yeah.
We have decided to replace her with these Transformers. They are the new cast.
This show's dwindling. We're like
Yeah.
an episode of Survivor, like just cutting out.
Well, before we go too far off track, we've got a great show for you today planned with all kinds of great news. So why don't we go right into it with some super cool nerd news.
First up tonight, we have D&D Beyond. You guys know D&D Beyond. It's D&D. D&D Beyond. Anyway, they were acquired this week by Hasbro, who also owns Wizards of the Coast. So, yeah, that's the big point of the story, is that they acquired them, but there have been a lot of really funny memes about whether we're going to get digital copies of books along with physical copies, and what this might mean for integration, whether we can still say D&D Beyond on our stream. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
My brain immediately went to like just even cooler action figures.
Yeah. We're of like minds because we both got that Dritz figure.
Oh yeah.
And Guinevere. And yo, they're good. And look, I'm not saying that Hasbro isn't paying me at all, but I'm just going to say that I love my Hasbro overlords, and I think that any decision that they make is a good one, and I will continue to support them.
And if you would like to sponsor us, please, please
and,
sponsor us.
And they are very good. That was
But
not a prepared statement.
Hasbro already owned Wizards of the Coast, so this is primarily a digital acquisition in D&D Beyond. What do you think it's likely to change?
There's times that I'm kind of like, I don't like anybody controlling everything. But Hasbro does a really good job with licenses, and I can't deny that. Like, as far as like even having action figures from Power Rangers to Ghostbusters to Marvel Legends, and even Star Wars Black Series, everything has their own unique thing. Not everything starts looking cookie cutter. So I don't have a leg to stand on that one.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought D&D Beyond and Wizards of the Coast were already one thing.
That too.
So, like, for me, this doesn't change a lot.
I've seen two things that keep popping up, which I think is interesting. First of all, Jason didn't remember, and I didn't remember that Hasbro owned Wizards of the Coast. So the extent to which they've let Wizards of the Coast do their own thing is pretty crazy.
And what's so I don't know how I didn't know that, because I mean, I'm always on Hasbro's website, of course, picking up toys and crap, and they have tons of Wizards of the Coast stuff up there. And then I kind of, when you said it was more like a doy.
Yeah, but that speaks to them letting them
breathe.
Nice. Not trying to slap their label all over it so you know it's the same company and whatever. So
Yeah.
And they've been doing a lot of what they call Fan First Fridays, where they reveal things, and they've done quite a bit of D&D content.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about, the possibilities of, and this is rampant speculation, right? They're working on a new version of D&D, like
a new edition,
like not 6, like 5.5 probably.
How long have we? Can
We've
y'all?
had 5.0 for a while.
Okay, because I mean, I came into 5.0.
Yeah.
Okay, they did. Critical Role just hit their 7th anniversary. They converted to 5e to start.
Yeah.
So it's been I think about 8 years. I think.
Yeah, like when you came into D&D 5.0 or 5e, whatever you want to call it, it was already a thing for a little hot minute.
I'm not good at remembering dates. That's the only firm fast date, is they just had this huge 7th anniversary thing.
I was still playing Pathfinder at the time because I was stuck in one specific game for what felt like an eternity. So I have no concept of time, but I remember us discussing 5e and everyone getting all
Was
angry.
5e kind of an answer for people that were playing more Pathfinder than D&D?
No.
Okay,
With 5e, what I think was great about it, because I'm a diehard 3.5 because that's what I started with. And 4.0 really messed with things real weird, and not many people liked it very much. I don't know a lot of people that do. I don't know anyone who still runs that.
Yeah,
version.
I know a lot of people who liked things about 2 and things about 3.5. But
Yeah. But 5e took all of the things that everybody loved about 3.5 and just made them simpler. They took, like, instead of having 5 paragraphs to explain what Magic Missile does, they condensed it down to just what it does. We don't need the history of Magic Missile to understand how it works.
Yeah.
We can have that, but instead of having that history and then how it works, like, mixed in there somewhere, they have how it works, and if they want to add a history, there's a history somewhere, but it's not needed to play. Some of the skills were changed, and there are some that I like how they work better in 5e than they did in 3.5, because they just make more sense.
There's a lot of simplification. There was arguments that it was too simplified.
But I think that was kind of needed for people who are older, who didn't grow up with all of this nerd stuff, to get into D&D, because 5e is a really good, now that it's like you want to play D&D but you don't know how, here, play this.
You only have to have this book to start playing the basic rules, and you don't have to have the physical. But you can start playing for essentially free.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about it. It wasn't hard to approach, really, actually, for me, and I hadn't played before 5e. Anyway, that's not speculation. We know they've announced that they're working on more with it. What is speculation, though, is that this isn't speculation either. They just changed it to where, like, if you're a tiefling, for instance, like, you have always gotten like a charisma bonus, I think, and a dex bonus of +1. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, but you couldn't change and become a stronger tiefling instead with a +1 from charisma. Couldn't be changed to, say, strength.
Yeah.
And that is different now. That's already changed. That's already out. What I want to see, and this has been crazy controversial in my groups, they did that for obvious reasons, that your species having natural, they can really only be evil or good, wasn't great for our world. And also that not all tieflings are charismatic. Not all, and just kind of typifying across the board for a certain species or race is not something that they wanted to continue to encourage. And I get that. That makes sense to me. I want to see them take it a step further not for political reasons, just for funsies. I want to see you put out a monk that you can choose whether it's based on wisdom or intelligence. I want to see a warlock that can cast with its strength modifier. I want to see, like, you to be able to take the basic class abilities and use them to cast. I want to see a charisma-based cleric or a, like an intelligence-based bard. Like, where it directly informs how you cast in the numbers.
I want gunslingers to have rocket launchers.
I'm sure there's some
Make it work
already.
Make it work.
But, like, the flexibility that they're introducing makes me wonder if they're headed that way and really excited about the possibility, but, like, I could be wrong. But if that's the case, and that's crazy speculation, but if they do that, you're really going to want the primary digital tool set for D&D for most people, which is D&D Beyond, to be able to implement that from the get-go.
Yeah, which honestly, if they're working together now, like if they've been acquired and like become one, that could happen. We could see D&D Beyond go down for maintenance like for a day, and when it comes back, everything's up and running and everything's got all of the new rules, and all you have to do is like, ooh, that's like basically you just like what version are you playing with your character sheet? This one, or this one?
Yeah. Well,
or
this is kind of based on like a long-term thing that I've had that like Cass's character in our D&D game, spoilers, is wisdom based. It's a monk and it's wisdom based. Octavia doesn't actually have a lot of wisdom. She has book learning.
Yeah.
And a lot of monks that I've seen played, they went to a monastery and they learned. They know a lot of languages. They can do a lot of research. They're intelligent. They're not that wise. Because wisdom is usually about like street smarts and experience with people and being out in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'd love to see it if you could just switch it and be like, but this isn't that. It's intelligence. And then that would help inform how she works in combat as well, like wisdom does now. That's what I want to see.
Not gonna lie, they're already getting an idea for a team.
I think warlocks being charisma is insane. And me and my friend Christian were talking the other night, and he said, yeah, but like, you have to have too many charisma casters because otherwise everybody would dump charisma. And I was like, maybe.
No. See, I disagree with that alone, specifically because of how many people play this game to be the charismatic hero.
Yeah.
To be the Fabio.
Mm-hmm.
Or just literally to try and, like, bang every woman. Which they all think all of this, by the way, goes directly into charisma, and some of it does, but I promise you, my dudes, please stop with that last one at least a little bit.
It's funny because I hear all the memes about it, but I've been like very, very fortunate in my D&D experiences. I've played a lot with you guys. I've played with, and I've played in 4, 5 other campaigns. I've played a decent number outside of this group, but I played with family. I played with close friends. I played with people who just weren't that interested, a lot of actors, not that interested in playing the most standard version of a character, so they tend to veer away from that.
So, I did play, like, as a quick thing, I did play a character that, like, he was down to screw, like, what, like, age-appropriate anything.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, like, an added bonus of his character, because he was trying to be a charismatic hero kind of thing. I didn't actually want to flirt with every single woman at every single tavern constantly, but my DM wanted me to. Because he thought it was funny, because my rolls are always bad, so I always got turned down anyway, which is kind of fun of it.
You've kind of not been a great roller in anything I've seen you.
The only time I rolled well in a game, like, for something, is either for something stupid, or the one time that my character got lucky in a game, and then I got accidentally engaged to her. Because I rolled bad right after. It's fine. That's a story for another time. The point is, the DM was more into me wanting to go with that angle because he just wanted to, like, make fun of me at that point.
Uh-huh.
Consensually, I thought it was funny. But that's how you make it work, I guess. I don't know.
There's ways to do it that are great.
But
like
his charisma wasn't high, my guy. He was pretty. He was not smart, and he was not charismatic.
I think that, like, charisma, and after this, like, we can move on, but, like, charisma is one of those things that, like, people who like to RP and people who understand that they're going to roll badly when they RP a lot, like, sometimes are more embracing of those characters. I think Christian's point is interesting because if you're doing a ton of combat and you optimize around that combat, then yes, you need too many charisma casters so people don't dump it. But I wouldn't anyway. That's not really how I put together a character.
Also, charisma does not equal looks. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
True.
I will not be taking any criticism on that.
I am a 10 off camera. So, like, even if you think, but you know, like.
Anyway,
that's a joke.
We got a little bit excited about D&D talk.
I know. I have 2 more D&D stories. So, like, I don't want to keep going on that right now, though, so somebody else can go.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and continue ranting.
Sure.
Because we got a new trailer this week. And I feel like I'm the only one that's not excited about this.
Sure.
And it is Kingdom Hearts 4. I can't even get excited. I can't get excited about this game. Because last time I got excited about a Kingdom Hearts title, I had to wait 14 years. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the table there. 14 years to be able to play it, and then got severely disappointed the minute I started playing. I had no idea what was happening. I had tried to play as many of the games in between as possible, and it just didn't make sense. But this one, we were directly told that we're getting a sequel. Okay. Instead of it being like maybe. The graphics look really pretty. They look so nice. Like, you can see it on screen. It's so pretty. It still feels really bland, and that's really sad. Like,
so, to ask, did you become a fan of Kingdom Hearts 3, or did you never get there?
I enjoyed things about Kingdom Hearts 3. I enjoyed specific worlds, and I enjoyed doing certain things in Kingdom Hearts 3, but as a whole, like, I never finished it. I just lost interest in it because I couldn't tell what was going on in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is with this graphics update? And I'm disappointed to find out Sora doesn't have giant feet.
I don't know, per se. Like, I don't know what happened, like, where we got this budget from. It looks gorgeous, but I feel having this very realistic style, and it might just be for the area that he's in, because, you know, they always change the style somewhat based on where they are.
That'd be hilarious.
But, I feel like this realistic style kind of, like, waters it down a lot, because half of the appeal of Kingdom Hearts is that cartoony style that it has. The characters can be more expressive, there's always super bright colors, and it fits really well with the whole, like, incorporating Disney with it and stuff, because it makes it look less jarring when you have
A Disney character
suddenly show up.
Yeah.
Because, yes, Sora's still in an anime style, not a Disney style, but it doesn't look weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in a cartoon style, and it works. But, it looks like that he's put into, like, the modern world, which is a really cool concept. But again, that realism just feels real awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do know that several of my cosplay friends saw his hair and just went, oh, thank God, it looks realistic, and I can actually do this without crying now.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, that's fair. Fair cop. But, you know, like, seeing him fight with all of these different colorful attacks and stuff, it just feels weird. Also with the giant Heartless in the middle of town.
Mm-hmm.
Just awkward. I'm not really that excited. Also, the chick with the red hair. Okay. She's in a singular Kingdom Hearts game.
Mm-hmm.
That we were told before Kingdom Hearts 3 was optional content because it wasn't going to be canon. And then they made it canon in Kingdom Hearts 3, so now she's from the mobile game. Which we're gonna have another mobile game, by the way, guys. Aren't you excited? I didn't research that. I'm so mad. I'm so tired of this.
I too lost interest in Kingdom Hearts 3, so I feel where you're going with this. But I have serious questions. I mean, look, Mickey and Donald, I didn't play it that far. They're in there.
Yeah, Donald and Goofy are in it.
I'm sorry, yeah.
They
go
talk
with
to
it.
someone with a blue flame that also turns red, so they're probably talking to like Hades from Hercules, probably.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say, Jason?
I don't know. I'm with you on. I can't get excited just yet. We're too far away.
Yeah.
I've been shown a teaser. Y'all have gotten me before. We'll see you in a little while.
When is it? They have a release year currently?
No, we have nothing, but my speculation is that we will get it in 2035 with the PS9.
But of course, the PS9 you still won't be able to keep it in stock. So like you're gonna have to wait till.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait till the PS10 or 12 when they do the final remix for the third time.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very salty to anyone that may think so. Like, I used to really love Kingdom Hearts, and I still really love Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I think those great games are really good, especially 2. I just really love the stuff that was introduced in 2. And I don't mind if you have, like, some sequel games, like, in between the release of 2 and 3, like, for example. But 14 years of prequel games because you decided you wanted to add so much lore to make people's heads hurt feels a bit excessive. And then on top of all of that, or included in all of that, is a mobile game in an era where people don't really play a lot of mobile games. But now we have to play a mobile game because you've introduced several characters that were only introduced in the mobile games, in history that was only in the mobile games that you still didn't flesh out properly. Like, maybe the answer to all of this is to take Nomura and take him away from the project, and in his place put someone who's not going to overcomplicate things. And I know that's a controversial opinion. I stand by it. I also think that for the 7 remake. But I'm alone in that opinion, apparently, so we're not going to go there.
I think that video games have inherent... I have issues with the way that video games are released just all over the place. The constant delays, the amount of like in-between lore, how they integrate mobile and desktop, like all this stuff. Like, I don't understand how sometimes companies like Disney will indirectly own something and you still, like, gamers are just people. Like, a lot of gamers are just the same people that you're advertising to in other situations. Yeah. Why don't you follow those rules? Put stuff out when it's supposed to come out.
Like, to be fair, Kingdom Hearts 3 never had a hard release date until closer to its release. But Dream Drop Distance, there's a lot of information out there that was supposed to be Kingdom Hearts 3, but then they realized they weren't sure that people would play the game if Sora wasn't the main character, so they had to change tactic, and that led to a 14-year gap.
Also, don't put a lot of necessary lore in your mobile games. Like, the people you're trying to talk to would play it on the Switch most of the time. So maybe you could have a couple Switch releases with lore that matters. And those are the people that you think you're targeting, but you're not.
Also, I did play the mobile game, just to clarify. I didn't play it for very long because the device I was using died in the middle of me playing it. But the game was very cute. I did like that you could have your own character and you could decorate your own little keyblade wielder and it was cute. That story was not presented very well at all. I had no idea what was happening. I played it for like 2 months straight. No idea what happened.
Yeah. Like, when I play a decent amount of games on my mobile while I'm doing something else, but I don't feel that doesn't feel like gaming. That feels like, you know, just indulging my ADD when I'm watching a TV show or something. It's not the same thing.
My phone games are reserved to be visual novels and visual novels only.
And dating pigeons, apparently.
There is not a mobile
I'm sorry,
version.
what?
There's not a mobile version of How to Fool Boyfriend. However, there is a mobile version of Ikemen Sengoku where you can date the men of the Sengoku period. Anyways, the point of this whole story is that I'm salty about Kingdom Hearts. I am saltier than sea salt ice cream. And I just want it to stop at this point.
Also, put out Ragnarok this year because you said you would. You've already delayed it to this year. That has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts. That's God of War.
If you're going to put in Kingdom Hearts, then maybe put in more of the Square Enix characters that you had in all of the other previous titles. Please. That was like half the fun, was seeing Donald argue with like cloud. Like, that was hysterical. I also want Sephiroth to be there to kick my ass again, because that was always funny.
Kind of hot.
Since we're talking video
And
games, I might as well say I finished Horizon Forbidden West.
Did you?
I'm not finished with the game.
Yeah.
But it was another example of just completely yoked out, and the final boss was like nothing. Like, I was almost disappointed in how easy it was to beat the final. I like maxed out all my armor and weapons.
Yeah.
Went up in there like, I don't know, Hulk Hogan versus Steve-O from Jackass. You know?
But are there quests
Make
you
that
could...
The Rock. Hulk Hogan's a jackass.
Are there quests you could do with a boss that would
There are
still
other,
kick
like,
your ass, though?
Not anymore.
Like
No,
God of War,
I
you
am-
can beat the game, but spoilers, when you come up against Sigrun, it's still going to be hard.
I am much like Fallout 4 with Wasteland Jesus. I am
You're too
Wasteland
yoked.
Joan of Arc here. Okay.
Yeah.
My Aloy kicks all of the ass, and it was like I was starting to think like there were bosses. Like, no, I thunk 2 arrows and something big is dead. So now it's time to move on to Elden Ring, and I apologize for any.
Elden Ring streets.
I apologize for any like overfilled anger that y'all get off of that. Like, y'all just come in one day, hey Jay, what do you want? Like, just yelling at you. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna show up with popcorn and just ridicule you as you die.
This is actually a legitimate family hobby for me. Like, Cass and I will sit there and make fun of people. Like, I've been watching.
Well aware of what playing video games is like with Cass. Donkey Kong was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's a long-standing family tradition. Cass and I come from a big family, and we'll sit there. Like, I remember it from the early God of War games. We'd sit there and be like, "Are you sure you want to be a God of War? What's the God of Farming doing? Maybe you could take over his slot."
I'm all like, how many witnesses are here that I can make disappear? Just kill Cass.
And then I'm just over here like...
Sadly, everyone else in this room has to die.
As he dies, you know that...
But I'll give it. There was a give and take, because then she would take the controller and fail just as miserably, and yeah. So
yeah, rest assured, I would fail more miserably than you in Elden Ring, but I'm still gonna sit behind you. Hey, you know that he hits real hard, right?
I won't
As
be.
you die.
I will not be playing this video game right. Anyway, let's move on
Yes.
in the
Oh
world.
no! One more thing with Elden Ring. I haven't played it, but I have seen a lot of the stuff from it. Finger maidens, really?
What?
Finger maidens. That's all. That's one of the names of one of the things, and I know that it's a translation. But finger maidens, you want to call it finger maidens? Really?
Anyway,
I dropped my pencil.
Jason, what you got for us today?
Okay, well, stop me if you've heard this one, but DC is looking to realign their universe again.
Oh,
But this time it's the cinematic universe. Now, I would like to just go ahead and just say all these dudes out here about the Snyderverse, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I didn't like it that much. So, recently with success of movies like The Batman, which, yes, I enjoyed, DC has, also, full disclosure, DC Entertainment has recently been bought by Discovery. $43 billion deal for Warner Media. So they own it all now. And not John Oliver, apparently. Or something like that. No, that's AT&T.
That's AT&T. It got ditched in the... Yeah.
So David Zaslav, the CEO of the combined companies, has now been floating the idea of revamping all of the content, looking for a figurehead like Kevin Feige. So basically, we're going to do everything that Marvel did. Mm-hmm. Because we just can't seem to get this done. Now, people are already like, no, bring back the Snyderverse. No, guys, this is what happens with DC Comics. Like, every 10, 15 years or so. I have been here for Crisis. I have been here for Zero Hour. I have been here for New 52. And I have been here for the new DC Infinite Universe or whatever. This is their... I don't get what's the big deal with DC Comics when just a small change is implemented. Like when they put pants on Wonder Woman. Okay, they're pants. Who gives a damn? I actually had like graphics for this I was going to actually put up, and people lost their mind. They do subtle changes to Marvel characters' costumes all the time, and no one cares. We just roll with it. I don't get it.
Cass and I have this argument constantly because she tends to like DC as a concept, like better than Marvel. She thinks Marvel movies feel too corporate, and I don't disagree with her on a lot of it. Although the most recent one was Spider-Man 3. It was
good.
It was
great.
It was good, and she liked it, and it didn't feel too corporate. But like, I get where she's coming from, but the Marvel, they have a clean whiteboard, and they're like, all these things are going to inform this continuity. Like, we're going to go through phases so we can change things up a lot, but they're still going to inform this continuity. We're going to change Spider-Man's based on which universe, but it's still going to inform this continuity. And they keep going with that. DC, every few years, they're like, blow it all up, start all over, but this time we're going to do it right.
In the last few years, especially with anything that's on screen, has been just all over the place. They had Constantine over at NBC, which got canceled. They had Lucifer over on
too.
Fox,
I
which
liked
got
that
canceled.
Constantine.
Went to Netflix. They have all the stuff on CW. They have all the stuff that's just on HBO Max now. Was the DC Plus, whatever that thing was. And then they have movies now, which are not in their line universes either. Mm-hmm. It's time to blow it up.
I don't ever think... I've never thought that blowing it up was inherently the worst thing that you could do. I just think it's funny that they're like, they seem to always indicate that this is going to be the last time they're going to do this for a hot minute. And it's like, but it's not though, is it?
Yeah.
It's been their formula with the comics, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it. But I guess they're trying to make some sort of aligned universe now, but you've kind of failed at doing it so far.
I mean, that's my primary advice, is stop trying to align them. You have a multiverse concept that's existed in your comics for a long time. Just be like, we're not uncanonizing this. This is just universe. This is what we're doing now, is this universe.
Yeah. Like, I expect Marvel is about to go completely off the rails with this next Doctor Strange movie. And please do, because the movie sucked. Oh Lord, did you see this movie? I should have reviewed it.
You really should have, because you Discorded us after you got out, and you're like, guys, it's not good.
I
would not waste my hard-earned money on that.
I'm pretty much done supporting Jared Leto products.
Yeah.
Also, method acting, please, dude. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they haven't given any. Of course, they literally just signed the ink on this deal, so they are looking to realign this continuity. And honestly, what would we really lose? I think some of the CW shows, it's time to redo some of those shows, because let's look at how. I mean, Green Arrow started it. Green Arrow was okay. And
I stayed on base for Arrow for longer than I did certain other properties. And then it just got too repetitive.
Apparently not. Ezra Miller's crazy, so you can't do the Flash movie now.
Or he hits people.
There's still, you should not hit people unless they just...
Anyway.
So, yeah, expect they are looking to realign the universe. Nothing's set in stone, but they're already like, we need to make money off of this, and I don't like where the money's going right now. Apparently, like, CW shows have not made money in a while.
Oh, no. No. CW shows have been bad for a long time.
How is it? I mean, but they're still going. You got Legends of Tomorrow. I don't even know where these shows are, like, now. I think the new Superman and Lois is pretty good.
I watched a few episodes of that. I did like that approach. I thought it was a more interesting version of It was like Smallville grown up, kind of. Like, complicated, trying to deal with multiple priorities, but not just like kryptonite makes him weak or he's lost all hope. Like, he's trying to realign what it means to be Superman in a different environment, and I like that.
What I fear they're going to try to do is align the comics and the movie continuity, and that's not going to work.
No.
Marvel doesn't even go that far.
I mean, if they blow it all up, then it could, but I don't think it will help. And I don't think you have to. Just, there's a different universe. There's a universe where, like, the Joker is Batman's mom. Like, you have a lot of things that exist in the comics that are like, sometimes in some places things are completely different, and they just are.
I mean, even Marvel did their blow up, but they had a couple of universes, but they had some good things they wanted to bring over into
Yeah.
the 616 universe.
Yeah.
Like Miles Morales. Please bring Miles to everywhere you go.
Please.
Put him in your pocket and take him
And
wherever.
by the way, find another role for Tom Holland, because I do love him, but can we not do Peter Parker? Just don't
I
like
don't
him.
know. We finally got to where Peter Parker needed to be.
Yeah,
So-
he's not a photographer.
Took a couple
I like Miles Morales better than I like Peter Parker.
Oh yeah, if at some point Miles had stepped out in the fourth Spider-Man, I'd have lost it. I'd have probably passed out in the theater right there. Just some random actor you didn't know just come through. You got room for one more, guys? Like, who are you? I'm Miles.
we were-
And they probably been like, "You're Spider-Man." Yes, I am. Bring it in, bro. Because that's what would happen.
We were laughing because, like, we blatantly, like, we don't lie to our mom very often. She doesn't ask things she doesn't want to know. So just don't have to lie to her. When she asked us if the other Spider-Man did, in fact, show up in the new Spider-Man, spoilers, we lied to her face.
They
We're
have
like,
it on
"Nope,
billboards now,
bummer."
so it's not a spoiler anymore.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal. That's why I just kind of threw it out there. We just lied blatantly to her face, and we're like, no, that doesn't happen. And then last week, she was like, you told me that didn't happen. We're like, yeah. And she's like, that was probably the right move.
Also, they're releasing the 3 Peter Parkers in a Hasbro 3-pack.
Are they? That's
coming
cool.
next year.
We are getting way derailed.
I'm sorry.
It was
Anyway,
fun. Fun movie.
We went to something good. We went from something bad to something good.
So wait, the new Batman is going to be in the new universe?
I expect that they do want to build off of that.
Ugh.
They also want to expand on more second build characters because they've seen a lot of success with things like Peacemaker and using Vigilante in that show, Suicide Squad, even to an extent. The latest Harley Quinn movie, which I thought was actually really good. They've seen a lot of success with some of these lower tier characters. Something that Marvel has done as well with Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, they should because and please keep Peacemaker. Please keep Peacemaker. That show is the
He's
best.
doing dope, and I like his whole entourage. Like,
Yeah,
group.
keep Peacemaker innocent.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, keep Peacemaker.
I will say one thing. DC, make Sandman. Do not try and integrate it into anything.
We're waiting for
It
that
is
for
its
now.
own separate... I know, but it was supposed... They promised us 2021, and I have not heard anything in 2022.
Is there anything good we want to hold on to this current DC universe right now?
Wonder Woman.
Okay. You know what? Hold on to Aquaman.
Yeah.
Hold on to Momoa.
I love this Aquaman. I like if Ezra Miller's a problem, you have to get rid of him. But I don't have inherent problems with any of the Aquaman or Wonder Woman. Maybe ditch Ezra Miller. I even liked Batfleck.
Anything from
like,
the TV shows to hold on to.
I don't know, and that's the problem.
I kind of like Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, Teen Titans was fun. Some like
Ooh, scrunchy.
I don't like any of the DC shows at all.
Fair. That's
I
completely
like the
fair.
Harley Quinn cartoon.
Yeah, they can hold
the
on.
cartoons I've always enjoyed, but the TV show, like the live action stuff, even Arrow, even though I liked it okay, I didn't watch very much of it. And when I came back to like see where it had gone, I'm like, what is What did you do? What you gave him more anxiety than he had.
Two of their biggest wins for me in the last 10 years have been Wonder Woman, which happened by accident because you didn't care about it. But Wonder Woman, totally separate. Patty Jenkins directed. Like, yeah, do whatever. Make an origin story. We'll see. They put enough budget into it, but they didn't care. They didn't have too many producers in the room. That was a win. The other one, people hate this. Gotham. Gotham was a great show because they said, we don't care what you think you understand about Batman. We don't care. That's not what we're doing. We're doing
an
something
AU,
different.
basically.
It's an AU,
And
a
that
lot
is
about it worked.
And that's completely fine. Like, I didn't watch Gotham, so I have no opinion on Gotham itself. But had I known, like, from an outsider perspective, I didn't give it a chance because I thought it was just
Cass told me to watch it, and I liked
they
it.
screwed it up kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then knowing from, like, years later, oh, it's an AU? Oh, well, then nothing matters.
It doesn't, they treated it like, it doesn't matter what you think, this is something, just, it's different. Yeah. It's different. We're not going to try and canonize this. Made them approach it in a more interesting way. It's not a flawless show, but it was a lot of fun and ended up with one of the better Jokers that wasn't the Joker that I've seen, the best Riddler I've ever seen, and I'm sorry, the most interesting Penguin there's ever been.
I'm gonna back Cora up on time because they're like 42
Yep.
minutes.
Oh, goodness gracious. We got very excited about that one.
We've gotten excited a few in a row.
All right. Believe that falls to you next.
Okay. Well, this one will be a fairly quick hit, I think. Except I do have opinions about this. Stranger Things 4. Now, where's the spoiler sign? I saw it.
Oh, it's okay.
This involves a spoiler that I don't think you can avoid even without watching the trailer. But I was still mad that I already know this. So they've done D&D villains in Stranger Things. They've done something they did and called a Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
And something else. The Demigorgon.
Yeah, the Demogorgon.
And, like, these are both mostly Wizards of the Coast property. They've announced that in Season 4, they're going to have a villain named Vecna. Vecna is an extremely specific, not only, like, he's not like a species or a monster, he's a person. He's a demi-lich. He was the, spoilers, big bad in Critical Role first. Like, he was one of the big bads. There were several. Yeah. So, like, yeah, they've already said, yeah, this is our bad guy's named Vecna, and here's what he looks like. I'm like, knowing a lot of Vecna's story, like, I would have preferred not to know that that's who it was. I would have been really excited, and I'm kind of salty that we already know that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I like not knowing who the big bad is.
And I don't know if he's, like, the big bad, but, like...
I mean, he's a demi-lich. That seems pretty big and powerful.
And he's ascended to godhood in canon of D&D.
Yeah, so...
Like,
that's a pretty big bad.
it doesn't seem likely that they'd have a bigger villain.
Yeah, well, like, you can't even throw Tiamat in there to be a bigger bad, because if it's a god...
Yeah, and I feel like the last season of Stranger Things hit it out of the park. So, like, you've got the D&D nerds. We already liked your weird take on things. We were gonna watch it. You don't need the hype. What are you doing? Just put it out. You don't even need a trailer, almost. Most of the people I know liked it.
You just need a trailer that just says, Stranger Things 4 coming, be ready, get your waffles.
You need maybe a teaser.
Yeah, like, and it doesn't even really need to tease anything.
Yeah, no reveals. Just show us that you have all the cute kids back. And, maybe throw out something that indicates that Eleven's dad maybe isn't all the way dead, which is something that we've theorized about.
I mean, if there's a demi-lich.
Oh, that better not be him. Anyway, so D&D. That's on the D&D front. Another D&D story. I don't know when it comes out. It'll be good.
I have a game that's coming out that does have a release date.
Ooh.
So y'all have been hearing me get very excited about Aiden Chronicles, and while Aiden Chronicles 100 Heroes is still at least a year away, Aiden Chronicles Rising, the prequel game that will set up the world and kind of the story and the kind of characters for the game, will be released on May 10th. It will be released on basically everything, so PS4 and 5, Xbox Series, XS, Xbox One, Switch, PCs via Steam, like everything. You can play Aiden Chronicles Rising on those platforms. It will also be available day one on Xbox via PC Game Pass.
Nice.
I have no words to explain how excited I am for this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty. There is a 30-minute trailer from IGN. It's a gameplay trailer, so you can see how the game actually works. Again, go watch that. It's so cool. The game is going to have, like, real-time combat, like, real-time turn-based combat where you, like, pull out characters and stuff. But, if that's not your thing, then you can just wait and hold here for 100 Heroes, which will have turn-based combat classically and stuff like that. And I'm just excited. I also just really like that our two main characters for Rising are girls. Like, our two main we have two heroines as our main focus, and then 100 Heroes we have two males, so it's like we have like a switcheroo, and I like that.
It's fun.
Also, switcheroo. But also, I mean, one of the main characters in Rising is the is like a sellsword for hire that's a kangaroo.
Kangaroos are scary, man.
Yeah, and he's great. He's so done with everyone's crap, and I love him. He also has an eye patch, and like I just love that. Love it. Go give the trailer a watch. It's very good. Very, very good. Worth it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
2 and 1 9.
And you will never see me you will not see me for at least a week after May 10th, because that game is all I'm going to be doing.
Fair.
Jason, what do you got for us?
Sorry, I was adding time to the child that came in here and was like, "Dad, Dad." So
Adding time.
they don't have school tomorrow, so they wanted time on their devices.
Fair.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a bit of sad news. Unfortunately,
No.
we all hate sad news around here, but one of our favorite conventions is sadly announced. We're not ready to come back yet. Yes, QuakeCon once again this year will be a digital-only event, August 18th to the 20th, 2022. As they say, like you, we're disappointed not to return to Dallas this year, as an event of this size requires months of planning, and in this case, we had to make decisions when there was still too much uncertainty to commit to successfully executing an in-person QuakeCon. The QuakeCon team is already working hard to put together an exciting new streaming programming, online meetups, giveaways, charity opportunities, virtual BYOC, and more. We will announce more details in June. We are committed to returning to our full in-person festival in 2023, and are looking forward to connecting with friends, a massive BYOC packed with our latest custom PC creations, our wild contests, and tons of new great games and hardware for attendees to try out. We can't wait to see you online this August and in person next year. This is still a smart decision.
Absolutely.
I know that we are already talking about we are making San Diego Comic-Con, but they have already put in place, we are going to have things in place to protect people. And they're requiring vaccinations, but QuakeCon's a little bit different.
QuakeCon is truly unique, and they said it in that BYOC.
And there we go. I know they keep it cold enough to kill all viruses in there.
They do.
They really do.
Which also, because we live in Texas, thank you.
And dark enough to, like, as long as there's no, can you dull all the scents in a room? That'd be nice.
I absolutely love walking through the BYOC every year, having to wear, like, a pretty decent jacket, and just seeing every single person at their computer huddled with, like, basically a comforter, like there's some old babushka just in front of their computer, just like, it's so much fun.
By the way, BYOC, bring your own computer.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a huge event. Yeah. Miles and miles of LAN cable.
Yeah.
Literally, we could go across Dallas a couple times with all this LAN cable.
It is miles. It takes miles. But, like, that is unique. It's kind of, they're just not going to be able to do it with as much distance as would make you feel comfortable all the time. The aisles are narrow. I'm pretty sure people are sitting 5 feet apart, but, like, the aisles are narrow, and it just...
But then again,
takes a lot of networking to set it up, and
there's also not a lot of traffic in between the aisles because everyone sits there and stays there for the next 20 hours.
It is
minimum.
true.
So I can understand why, and maybe we'll be in a better spot next year.
Oh,
It's disappointing. It's one of our favorites to go to, completely free to go to.
It's so much fun,
and they've always treated us pretty good, and so yeah.
Honestly, like, just respect. It's one of the harder cons technically to pull off. And they don't entirely always pull it off. There's usually some things that we wish were a little different.
Bethesda got that Microsoft money now, so...
yeah.
Break the bank on them. I'm sorry. Y'all put on a good show over here, but you know what? Y'all... It's like that, now you're playing with power.
Okay, but like, Bethesda's going to be a little bit careful about doing live announcements, like, as poorly received as a lot of the Fallout stuff was.
Yeah, but also... Since they got that Microsoft money, as Jason says, we definitely know for certain that the return convention next year in person will be a fun bash.
And it is sad news, but respect. If you're trying to keep people safe, that's a good thing.
That's what's most important, and that's what will get people coming back to your
disappointing, yes, but it is
understandable.
What it is. At this point, I kind of I don't want them putting on a show they don't feel comfortable with, because
Yeah.
I think overall that would be a bad show.
Yeah.
And probably their last. Like, if they're not ready to put on a show, like, as somebody who's done massive networking, like, setup events, like, we give them some flack sometimes for their communication and coordination, but if they say we're not ready, it would have been a disaster if they tried to put it on.
I honestly, though, I kind of want to change a venue.
I don't know where they did it.
The Gaylord.
The Gaylord is where they usually have it. Before that, it was at the Hilton Anatole.
And I don't think they can ever come back there.
No, the Anatole doesn't really let people have conventions there anymore. Even though even the security at the Anatole said that QuakeCon was like their favorite convention because nobody did anything, because everyone was in one room away from everybody playing games on their computers. And the one time they had someone wandering around after hours, the poor guy was so drunk on not sleep and energy drinks, he had no idea where he was. And the security guy just like turned him around. It's like, it's that way. And he's like, thanks, man. And just went right back.
Also, not a lot of cosplayers, and hotels tend to like that because cosplayers staying in the hotel, we have to be really considerate and careful to like make sure we don't leave traces of makeup everywhere and props everywhere and stuff like that.
And most of the people that cosplay at QuakeCon are usually in like Fallout stuff, which is pretty generic.
Doesn't require specific makeup sets for most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we will miss having it in person, but we will look forward to it even more next year.
Yep.
You got anything else for us? Yeah.
Oh yeah, one, and this is a really quick hit. D&D also announced that it will have a streaming event on April 21st, 9 a.m. Pacific, so 11 here, and it's called D&D Direct. It is approximately 30-minute presentation, and they are expected to unveil upcoming products, announcements, and updates. So they don't do a ton of like official streaming events, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
See what they say.
They'll probably have more information on the D&D Beyond stuff as well.
Yeah.
I'm very
Definitely.
excited about that.
Twitch and YouTube. Wizards of the Coast.
Excellent, excellent.
Mm-hmm. That's all to that story. I want to see what it is. I don't have any speculation about what it's going to look like.
My last story is pretty quick, but you better use this video. I had to download it.
Yes, sir. All right. So, if you are a fan of the movies Your Name or Weathering with You, congratulations. You are going to be fed once more by Makoto Shinkai, because he has a new film coming out called Suzune no Tojimari, which literally translates to Suzume's door locking. And if you'll give me just a moment, I can pull up what I have as a description of this movie.
In the meantime, I have the trailer playing. It looks beautiful.
Yes, it's, as always with his films, it's just looking absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. The official description we have for the movie is that it is a modern adventure story, an action film, and a road movie. The story follows Suzume, a 17-year-old girl from a quiet Kyushu town who meets a young man looking for a door. They find a door within ruins in the mountains, and Suzume opens it. Soon, more doors begin to open all around Japan, bringing disasters from the other side. The film depicts Suzume's liberation and growth as she closes the doors that are causing disaster. I am excited. I am ready to cry again. I can, like, if you walked out of Your Name and didn't cry, or walked out of Weathering with You and didn't cry, you're lying. Don't lie to me. Those were very emotional movies. However, Shinkai has been quoted as saying that he thinks that everyone's going to walk away from this movie feeling very happy and with like a spring in their step. And I'm like, I'm pressing X to doubt, but I am very excited.
I mean, you could cry and still have a spring in your step. Like, there's sometimes hopeful, like, endings that you're sad about, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he stated that 3 important points about this film are that it's a road movie, around Japan, a story about closing the doors, rather than opening them and a reason to visit the movie theater. Which, those are all just real good reasons. Even if it is just a reason to visit the movie theater. Yeah.
Closing the doors is fascinating to me as a concept because a lot of movies, either physically or metaphorically, are trying to open them.
Yes.
And the idea of like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know, I have the perfect, for when Hannah goes to this movie. I'm sorry, Cora
No.
the perfect accessory. I actually found this. I was going to gift it to her for Christmas. It's I put it up on screen just now, but it's a perfect accessory for her to wear to this movie when she goes.
Yeah.
And it's on screen now. I don't know if you were watching, but it's just earrings for people that cry very easily. And oh god damn, that's a pencil. Hey, that was a pencil.
Yes, and I purposely lobbed it so that it wouldn't stab you in the eye.
By the way, this guy I love this guy. This guy makes products, stupid products,
Okay.
like all sorts of stuff. You have to look, I forget what his channel brand is, but like that's his whole thing. And I've known about him since early on. He makes all sorts, he makes like a shower shield so you can adjust the temperature before it sprays you in the face while you're standing in the shower.
Okay, that's actually helpful though.
He makes a USB cover where like you can plug in and then you cover your charger so that people can't take it when they borrow it. Like all sorts of it. It's stupid, but also not without use type of products. I just think he's funny.
I want to go watch this movie with her just so I can have like a box of Kleenex like in my jacket. Just be like, hey.
There's a line
And
in
it comes out like, like you know those memes like when it's 5 o'clock and whiskey is staring at you. It's like
there's a line
heard you
in
were
Parks
crying.
and Rec where she says part of your rental agreement is when you watch sad movies, you have to wear mascara that's not waterproof so we can see if you're crying. And I just always think about that. She tells Adam Scott's character that. Like, I just want to know when it happens.
So I'm not going to go watch that with you.
Okay.
You know what, Jason? You know, I will go watch that with you if you will willingly go to the Prince of Tennis movie with me, which also is coming out in the next couple of months. It's the one with the tennis rap battles. You have to suffer through tennis match rap battles if you want to watch me cry.
I don't think I have the fortitude.
I have the perfect line about
Nor
that.
the will.
This is all something you do for love. Ha! Because tennis. So proud of that. You're welcome. It's all about
Two
the love.
completely different responses to that.
I like that when you get a high five.
I got a high five!
Alright, Jason, you better take it away. Finish this
Okay,
off.
mine's real quick. Once again, Marvel is kind of, well, they're really doing well with the TV shows. I am loving Moon Knight so far. Ooh, it's getting wild.
We're all caught up, by the way, with Wednesdays.
Awesome.
It comes out Wednesdays. And
But
yeah.
our next Iron Slinger, Ironheart, now has its directors and an executive production team. I know it's boring, but this is a brick that has to be set before things start going around. So Sean Bailey and Angela Barnes have been tapped to direct the series coming to Disney Plus, with Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame and his production matter, Proximity Media, joining the creative team.
Yes!
Woo!
That is a win.
Now,
I love his storytelling.
It is rumored that Ironheart is going to make an appearance in the next Black Panther movie, which I am completely on board with. Bring Riri in. It makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, this is like everything I wanted right here. You got, two relatively not unknown directors. They've done little things that people have said they have potential. I'm going to get them. But then you're bringing in, and Ryan Coogler was relatively new when he was on Black Panther.
I was shocked they put him in place for that. It was amazing.
A quality project. So for them to go, you know what, we're going to put your production team in charge of this too. That's Disney showing a lot of faith and giving some real good opportunities for up-and-comers who are, as far as I'm concerned, they are the future of the business.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
like you can't
and also,
do Stanley only, or I mean, who am I thinking?
Bailey's going to direct episodes 1 through 3, and Barnes will helm the next ones, 4 through 6. Also, Chinaka Hodge has been has now been staffed as a head writer for the series. Only
Dope.
one head writer, which is cool. She's very good. I kind of looked everybody up and was like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
I didn't look her up with anything I know off the top of my head.
Did we get an actress who Dominique Thorne, that's right. I couldn't think of her name. She'll be playing Riri. So Anthony Ramos and Lyric Ross are also projected to be in the movie. But anyway, Riri Williams gonna build her own Iron Man suit. I'm wondering which one are we gonna see. I kind of want the red and gold over there that's like Iron Man, but she also has that purple, pink,
I think you go with purple, pink.
the purple,
like,
pink, and gold one,
yeah.
which I think would probably be better. Even though her logo is in Iron Man colors. Mm-hmm. Maybe that one first, and then she gets an upgrade during the series.
Maybe you even make it a whole thing where you're like, you start with the red and gold, and then as she becomes her own, like, thing that's not just trying to build.
Remember, at the end of Spider-Man, during Spider-Man, they took Stark's technology, went somewhere. So, I'm happy. I like Riri. I think she's great. She's smart as hell, and she be repulsive blasting. Bring it on. Still no projected date, of course, because we haven't even started production yet. So, yeah, I'm happy about this.
Happy about it. Happy about Moon Knight. Liking Moon Knight.
Oh God, Moon Knight is so good. Also, the Halo series is really becoming one of my favorite things.
I've watched the first two, and I did like them a lot.
I get Moon Knight on Wednesdays and then Halo on Thursdays. When this drops off, it is going to be the most. Y'all gonna have to come and check on me. When Halo drops off and they're done, y'all gonna have to come and make sure I'm not just like sitting on the floor in the fetal position. Not crying, just like...
I mean, we'll be here on the day it was...
Y'all
would have come out
y'all
because
probably gonna have
Thursdays.
to excuse me from the show because he's curled in the fetal position. He's kind of catatonic because it's all over. Until Miss Marvel starts. So, there we go. That's it. That's all I got.
And that's all I've got. You got anything else for us?
Nope, that's all I had.
Well, that would denote then that we must sadly depart. We have no more things to talk about. Absolutely none. We could never come up with anything else, ever.
I could talk about the Batman for an hour and a half, but like, it's
Why
for
are
another
you looking
day.
at me like that,
Because of stuff
Jason?
we're doing this weekend.
You know, I could talk about that. I will, though. Don't worry. I will. We're going to be playing D&D this Saturday after giving Jason a heart attack. We'll be playing D&D this Saturday, continuing on with the new Terra campaign. Tirana, not Terra.
I know I say this.
Terracotta.
Oh, yeah, terracotta. I know I say this all the time. I'm so excited about this weekend.
Yeah,
it's going to be so fun.
Rana is excited. I am excited. Mia is excited. Jason is excited, I'm sure. Maybe. He might be excited.
He's always excited when we get here Saturdays, so like...
Yeah.
And you guys already know this. There's good old-fashioned dungeon crawl elements in this next episode, so it'll be...
Ooh.
It's not a dungeon, it's a dungeon
Yeah.
crawl.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun. A lot going on.
And if you have not caught up, let's say you missed last time, don't worry, on YouTube, in a playlist, on our channel. Do we have it in a playlist?
We do, but we probably need to double check that all the episodes are in.
Yeah. Either way,
Jason was reminded or something. Anyway.
on our channel we have all of our episodes uploaded, so you don't have to worry about going to Twitch to find them to watch them later. You can watch them on YouTube. And if you want to see us live, definitely join us at what time, Jason? I'm bad at time.
It's going to be 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, 3:30 p.m.
Probably best
Central
to come out and
Time.
say 3:30, because we always try and start
Well,
at
also,
3
you
and
know,
never
one of our
quite
people
happening.
has a hair appointment. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, our beautiful crop-topped
Airy boy.
crop-top airy boy has to get their hair done. She's got to look beautiful for the camera.
Yes, she does.
She's never had a problem with that, though.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we will see you then. But until then, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, all of those places at SCNS Live, on TikTok even as well, surprisingly. But if you want to follow us individually, Jason, where can they find you?
Find me over at JasonX on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me at BetterCat, Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Corodona Art for art and Suikoden related things and Final Fantasy things on chaotic_noodle. And with that, does anyone else have anything they would like to add?
All good here.
Alright, then we will see you all this Saturday. Have a fantastic evening, a safe Easter, and as we always say,
Keep on nerding.